BenQ MA320U versus BenQ PD3225U. And the real question is whether the pricier one earns that money on a MacBook, because both are 32-inch 4K panels built around Mac color matching and one cable charging. The cheaper one gets brighter and handles Mac controls well, while the other one goes deeper with blacks, Thunderbolt docking, and factory calibration you may never touch. By the end, you'll know which one fits your desk. Let's break it down. Let's start with what you'll actually feel every morning, which is how little you have to think about the monitor once your MacBook is on the desk. Both of these are built for Mac, and both do the Mac color matching thing with an M-Book mode, so text and photos don't look off the second you plug in. The MA320U leans hardest into that convenience. With BenQ's Display Pilot software and its keyboard control feature turned on, you change brightness and volume straight from the MacBook keyboard, no reaching behind the screen. And plenty of Mac Mini and MacBook owners say it just works out of the box, which for an external display is not a given. The PD3225U, for its part, handles the same job from the other direction, with a physical puck that sits on your desk and switches color modes or inputs with one press. Different philosophy, same goal. Now, the honest part on the MA320U. Someone using it with a Mac Mini mentioned a slower wake from sleep and the screen occasionally coming back at the wrong resolution. And there's another opinion about the keyboard controls needing that BenQ utility to work at all. That's the kind of small friction the PD3225U mostly sidesteps, which brings us to what you're staring at all day. Both cover the wide P3 color space, and both look great for design and photo work, so nobody here is getting a bad panel. But the PD3225U pulls ahead on the stuff you notice in a dark room, because its IPS black panel doubles the usual contrast to 2000:1, and it ships factory calibrated with a Delta E under 2, which just means color error small enough that your eye won't catch it. It's Pantone validated and Kalman verified too. The MA320U counters with brightness. 550 nits typical against 400 on the PD3225U. So in a bright room with windows, it holds up better. Here's my read on the MA320U's screen. It's excellent for coding, writing, and general creative work, and one buyer put it better than I could. Side by side with my MacBook Pro, the colors and sharpness look almost identical. Most 4K monitors look slightly off or blurry on a Mac, and this is the first time going back to the laptop screen didn't feel like an upgrade. That said, if you're making precise color decisions for clients, the MA320U's built-in P3 mode isn't the same thing as a calibrated workflow, and there's a complaint about viewing angles causing the screen edges to desaturate at normal working distance. Its HDR is also worth skipping for text and even for video. I wouldn't call it a reason to buy. Great panels still need to disappear into your desk, though. The MA320U gives you one USB-C in with 90 watts of power, enough for a MacBook Pro, a second USB-C downstream at 15 watts for your phone or iPad, 2 USB-A ports, and 2 HDMI. Clean and simple. But there's no Thunderbolt, so no daisy chaining a second display off it. And if you want more USB-A, you're adding a hub. The PD3225U is the real dock of the two, with Thunderbolt in at 85 watts, Thunderbolt out for daisy chaining, 3 USB ports, and a KVM switch, which lets one keyboard and mouse jump between your Mac and a PC with a button. If you run two machines, the MA320U is out. Simple as that. On the desk itself, both stands tilt, swivel, pivot to vertical, and adjust height, with the PD3225U giving you a bit more travel. And both sound mediocre, so plan on headphones or speakers either way. So where does that extra money go? The MA320U is the cheaper one, and it covers what most MacBook users actually need. A sharp 32-inch 4K screen, real Mac keyboard control, one cable charging, and brightness for a sunny room. The PD3225U costs quite a bit more, and you're paying for deeper blacks, the factory calibration report, Thunderbolt docking with daisy chaining, and the KVM. Whether you'd ever open that calibration report is the whole question. Here's the call. For most of you plugging a MacBook into a 32-inch screen, I'd take the MA320U because it handles the everyday stuff well, it's the brighter of the two, and it saves you real money that the PD3225U spends on things you may never use. Now, if you edit photo or video where a client signs off on the color, the PD3225U earns it with the darker blacks and that calibration out of the box. And if you juggle a Mac and a PC on one desk, the KVM and the Thunderbolt chain settle it on the spot. But if it's just you and one laptop in a room with windows, paying more here buys you very little. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.